Like, we're kind of like pitted against each other by this very... So if we were to all just band up together, no, I'm kidding you. There is power in masses too, you know, power in numbers.
Right, because I know there's a lot of this political turmoil right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of political turmoil. And where are you from originally, you said?
My family's from Mexico originally, but we've been in California for like over 100 years.
Well, it's just because Bangladesh is still kind of like a developing nation. I mean, I love my country, but I do think that it's not like, I don't know.
I'd love to check it out. Well, I live in Indonesia, and it's like
it could be different. I haven't, yeah, I mean, and I haven't been to Bangladesh in a long time. I think maybe some of my hesitations regarding it is because I went there when I was like 8, and I saw the amount of poverty, and for me it was very heartbreaking. And I know things have significantly improved since then, so I actually do want to check it out again. But I think that childhood memory of like seeing that, and so I'm just kind of like, it's a very humbling experience. You know, it's not like it's more like, you know, a mission trip vibe rather than vacation, leisure, curiosity, if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, at least that was my experience when I was 8, you know. I mean, I was just a kid growing up in America, and everybody said growing up in Detroit is rough. And I was like, I don't know. Food's on the table, there's a roof over my head.
Wow, that's interesting.
You know, and then I go to Bangladesh, and it's like, Bangladesh has it rough, and I'm like, rough in Detroit in America is very different from rough in Bangladesh, because I mean, I was seeing like deformities, I was seeing medical illnesses, I was seeing like, you know, infected people, like literally so many sick and poor people just like laying out on the streets and sleeping, which to an 8-year-old child was like, what on earth?
Maybe we like slightly different things. Like I love, since I like Egypt and Indonesia, and there are problems there. There's problems with poverty, and maybe it's not as intense as Bangladesh. I haven't been to a country where, like, my best friend's from India, and he told me he had a similar experience when he went there as a child. It was like people were going on the street, and it was like crazy.
You went to Bangladesh?
He went to India.
You went to India, yeah. Oh wow, okay, yeah.
But see, I can't speak with authority. I haven't been there, but I really want to go soon. But I love countries where I love traditions, and I'm really
I see that. Like more of a history. Yeah, so you actually would like it because, and also like it's grounding, right? I mean, it's informative. It shows you so much about the human experience.
Yes, exactly.
You get to learn and really feel a whole kind of people. Yeah, it's less vacation-y. So in that case, it actually would be, because to you, the vacation, you're getting stimulation of sorts from visiting these places that expand your worldviews.
Exactly.
And so if that's the case, then yeah, it could be cool to check out Bangladesh too. I mean, it's right next to India, so if you make it there, you know, just even like visiting it, just to see even sometimes, and like how things can be so different as soon as you do cross a border because of the governing authorities being different.
Yeah, I just like, I mean, right now, since I'm a new Muslim too, I'm so excited about Islam.
Yeah. And like India is like majority Hinduism, whereas Bangladesh is still majority Muslim. And I would say from the Indonesian people I've spoken to, I haven't been to Indonesia myself, but I would say that it sounds like Bangladesh and Indonesia have a lot of similarities. So if you wanted to do something where you kind of get to like explore the nuances and stuff, then it might be cool to check out.
I mean, that's really the heart of, because Bangladesh was India, right? So that's the heart of these religions. They began there.
Yeah, right? Because it was, I mean, it's so interesting, the world.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, well, in Indonesia, like I have strong opinions about Indonesia because I have friends, I have friends who live in the city, friends who live, I'm experiencing the village, my wife's from the village, and I know that people don't understand each other. And this, just from Jakarta, the capital, to the villages, like, and there's a lot of
segregation.
Yeah, segregation and like.
I almost also feel like it's because we just as people, as like different races and religions and stuff, we were pit against each other so much. I actually feel like it's one of our greatest ironies and disadvantages as a whole human race is like the amount of like hatred or like, I don't know, segregation, separation that it is involved, you know? And it's so intricate, the history and the complexities of why we are that way we are. But then it's like when you come back to like approaches of like Buddhism or spirituality where we're all tied to one thing at the end of the day, whether you want to call it God or universe or energy or quantum, like it's at like our core, we're all still humans. I feel like that still want the same things.
Right. Yeah.
We just
that's
want,
true. That's true.
we want to feel love and be loved. We want
yeah.
joy. We want peace. I mean, who doesn't want peace? Who would rather be at war, you know? I guess it's like, you know, the world wants you to like, you know, there's so much still encouragement to go after power and success and all of those things.
Yeah.
But those things, they still don't come with the guarantee that you're going to have the joy and the peace. So if somebody said you can have power, but you have to give up joy, you can have power, but you have to give up peace, do you still want the power? You want power and chaos? I don't know.
Some people do, which
you
is
know?
crazy. Which I think about that.
They want power and chaos? But do they want the chaos, or do they
I
like
think
go
they get joy
busy chasing the power? They end up with the chaos. Maybe they don't even know what joy and love and peace feels like.
I don't think they care.
They've
I think
lost
some
it.
of them, they just like power. They love power so much.
I know, I'm a little idealistic and it hurts me.
But like they're an extreme minority.
They are a
human
minority.
nature.
They are a minority.
But because of our system, they love this system.
Because the power,
because
because they're in the power. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we're kind of like pitted against each other by this very. So if we were to all just band up together, no, I'm kidding you.
No, seriously, I just like commented on some like Instagram
I'm like,
reel yesterday.
there is power in masses too, you know, power in numbers. And if we could realize, you know, I mean, sometimes I think about that because it's like, even with like, and I almost feel like, honestly, I need to learn more about Indonesia and see if it's part of this too, because I know there's other smaller countries in that area, but that area specifically, I can only speak from what I know, so that's why I'm talking about this area, but like India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, if those three countries didn't have so much political strife between each other and they were to like be united,
oh wow,
they would. It's a larger population than China.
Yeah, exactly.
It's larger than China, but the irony is, because of the history, because of colonialism, because of different kinds of things, they're just so busy disliking each other, and they don't even realize sometimes how similar they are to each other. And it's like, why do you guys dislike each other? Who made you guys dislike each other? Like, why are you guys not friends? You guys are neighbors.
Right.
Why are you not friends? This means you are actually coexisting, because you guys are already neighbors, so you were already coexisting until something happened, and now there's tensions. And now you're next to each other thinking you guys hate each other. Why be enemies with your neighbors? But again, if you are enemies with your neighbors, then you're not united, and then you don't have the power of numbers.
Exactly, yeah, and that's where we are
So
now,
it's like somebody took the power and you guys are left with numbers, but instead of uniting and realizing how powerful you are as a collective, you're busy, I don't know, busy judging each other or fighting or arguing or only looking at your differences, when it's like, what, do you see the similarities? Because it's massive.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, I don't know, people can sometimes be preconditioned, and again, this stuff is generational too, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not like you have to almost actively fight it, because it's like it is in your DNA now somehow to hate your neighbors if you're from those areas.
It is.
It's like somehow like you're raised with these views of like, well, they did this to us and they did that, and so you naturally have this like, yeah, exactly, and so you have to like actively reset that for your own DNA.
That's interesting, because I'm having, so much is going on now in the world. Well, stuff with ICE in California and the rest of the country, and then Gaza. And so I have all these thoughts, and my thinking right now is like, we need to, like for Hispanics in LA, they need to know the history, and that's passing down the bad feelings. But I'm feeling like, but they need to do that so that they can protect themselves. but then you get it's self-fulfilling prophecy. Then it's going to just continue. So there is that to consider. Yeah, like never ends. But then if people
but like
don't know their
self-fulfilling
history,
prophecies and stuff, like again, like I just feel like if we all connect back to the thread that connects us all, because there is, I think, a thread, and that's spirituality. And not to say like people
sure.
of science can't connect either. I'm actually saying, on the contrary, as we progress as a human population, I do like to take on the optimistic thought that, especially in this world where we are becoming more and more of a global culture, I definitely have a lot of faith and belief that the good people will find the good people and the numbers will start reuniting again. And I think that that's already happening, right? I mean, like,
It is
you're
happening.
from
Yeah.
Mexico and I'm from Bangladesh, but we're talking, and how many times has that happened 500 years ago?
Right.
You know?
Even
So now
even
we're all
30 years
mixing,
ago,
now we're
it
all
happened.
talking, and now there's a lot of people that are like, I don't mind where you're from, we're all just kind and curious to get to know each other. I think these people will find each other, and there's gonna be a collective that comes from that that's like positive, right?
Yeah.
So I think that that's still a very beautiful thing, like the freedom of expression too, of just like having social media, all
Yeah.
these things that we didn't have before, but now we do, and I think that that's going to cause some changes that are positive. Not everything's bad.
Right. Not everything's bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's
that's it.
actually like a lot of goodness that's happening that didn't happen before. And even like when it comes to like our knowledge or our ability, like, I mean, imagine if you were born 500 years ago, no way you'd discover Islam.
That's true. Right.
You see? Like, there's no way you'd figure out what's going on in the Middle East and learn a way of lifestyle in Indonesia, but
Yeah.
like
No. I
we
know. I'm
get these
aware of that. Yeah.
opportunities now because it is 2025. And so we are all kind of mixing and learning about each other, and the differences are starting to become like, at the least, not scary, not unknowns.
Hmm.
Like, we can learn what the differences are, and I don't even say that in a way to get rid of the differences. I just say that in a way to like kind of just appreciate the differences, because that's what keeps life interesting and the world interesting, and it keeps us curious and always able to learn more, you know? And so, yeah, like, I mean, that's just diversity though, right? Like embracing our differences and looking at all the other things that are similar about us. And at the end of the day, we have one thing in common, and that's the fact that we're all human.
Yeah.
We're all human at the end of the
That's
day.
true.
There are
Yeah.
certain things, certain truths about being human that we all experience, I think.
I
So.
did not expect this at all. I did not
I
expect
know, now we're like
Look at
going
you.
into the world and
Wow.
philosophy and existential
Do you talk like this to a lot of
questions.
people, or do you talk pretty
I,
deep?
I mean, I
I'm
talk
sorry,
like
I
this
keep
to
going
my.
in your face.
I know. I was like, whoa, how much
Is that
more of a
okay?
close